Hello and welcome back to my Craftroom. My newly organised Craftroom. You will see some, if you're a regular viewer, you will definitely see some differences in the background. Some of it's still the same, but there's a lot of changes as well, and everything's been gone through and reorganised, and it was a hell of a job, and it took me an entire week. I also had some other stuff that I needed to be dealing with, live stuff, so I've had a few days away, over a week actually, by the time this goes out. So thank you very much for your patience and all of the supportive messages that I got. I really appreciated it. It helped me through what was a bit of a hideous job. And I don't know why I picked like the hottest time of the year so far. It was like over 30 degrees in here, no aircon or anything. But it had to be done. I just couldn't work in here anymore, let alone film. So anyway, it's all done now, and Tom was over yesterday, Sunday, and he used my phone and helped me to film a little Craftroom tour. Yeah, I'm very pleased with all. You can see it's still a very crowded room, and you'll see in a minute from the tour. There's a lot packed in here, and I have still overspilled into the spare room as well. But yeah, it's all really organised, and I've now got several projects on the go. I've been itching to get started on. The first one is going to be my Maggie Morris inspired project, which there's a tray there you can see in the background which has got all of the things that I'm going to use for that project. I cannot wait to get started. I'm going to edit this and then get started, so hopefully that first video will go out tomorrow. That first video. I'm going to pass over now to the little film that Tom and I made yesterday. Enjoy. It's warts and all. We went into all of the nooks and crannies. I've hidden nothing. Are you recording?
No.
Are you recording or not?
Yeah.
Tom's trying to make me look small by holding the camera up really high.
Luckily I don't need to.
Hello and welcome to my craft room. My newly tidied craft room, what I've been tidying all week. I promised I'd do a tour. So am I looking at the camera, Tom?
Yeah.
I promised I'd do a tour, so here it is. Ta-da! So that's kind of what it looks like from here. You can see it's still a pretty crowded room, but it's all very organised and it's all portable and accessible. So what I'm going to do is fold up this chair. Everything folds up, or it's on wheels or whatever. So tell you what, I'll put this chair out here on the landing a minute, out of the way. I don't have to film everything. And then we can both fit in there, so I can show you around. Should we start from there, and I'll go out?
A lot of tat on the shelves. See, washers actually can't stop me from calling it tat. Lots of tat here.
You can see there's a hell of a lot squeezed into this little space. There's a fan in the corner which we desperately need on, but because of the noise at the moment we haven't got it on.
Yes, we can only handle one small loud thing in here at a time.
So now I'll show you some of the bits and pieces. So let's go. So up here we've got this is Puppetville up the top, and there's Stephen as well.
I seem to be inappropriately hugging Stephen.
Stephen looks very happy. This case has got various things in, including my soldering kit, or soldering if you're in America.
Yes.
There's an L in it. Why would it be soldering? I don't understand that. I saw someone American the other day saying, "Why do Brits say soldering?" Because there's an L in the word. Anyway, so and here I've got all my fabric journals and like keepsake books, my tags and things that I've made, like the mushroom Tom thinks looks rude, and things that other people have sent me, like the cat from Tori, and this little house from Viviana, and this heart from Debs, and the little ball I made at Sue's, 00 Sue's. And then on here I've got little things that I've made and a few things that other people have made. Actually, it's nearly all I've made there, except this is from Johnny. I broke the tail though.
He'll be upset.
Yeah, but I've left space. So I've left space in places to allow for more coming in later. Remember the trolls, the finger puppets. Finger puppets of this is PP in shorts. You'll know PP, Private Paula and shorts if you're in our Discord community. So in here I've got different fancy fibres and things in there, and in here more fibres and kind of finer threads like crochet threads and things. There's ribbons underneath and some kind of kits and things are under there. I have to pull this out to get to it, so I've only put in this dressmaking pans. I've only put in there things that I'm not going to want to get to very often. I can pull that out easily enough though. This has got like interfacing and iron-on interfacing and stuff like that. This has got Hessian and Ada and things like that. Got what's in this one now. Oh yeah, and this is like white fabrics, batting and things like that. I've got a box of those as well. This one's doll making fabrics and hair and things. This one's got felt and other weird fabrics like chiffons and things are in there with the felt for some reason that makes sense to my head. This is Secret Project. Either will be coming up very soon or it'll have already just started by the time you see this film.
Depends how long they take to edit.
This is everything I've been collecting together for my Maggie Morris project, which is going to be the first thing I do in my newly tidy room.
Ooh.
There's my current... no, actually, that's acrylic paints in there that I didn't have any other room for, because these stitch kit boxes are really sturdy. This is a thing of absolute joy. Hang on, move that over there. Ta-da! Those aren't all genuine fat quarters. They're just fabric that I've got enough of to fold into a neat shape, really. And this little unit's really handy because you can do this. So you can get to the ones underneath a bit more easily. Various things in the drawers behind. Various things in the tubs up there that I don't need to get to too often. But obviously easy enough to pull down if I have to. And again, lots of bits and pieces that I've made or other people have sent me. And my lovely wrap from Johnny. I still love my trash dolls. So they went back up again.
They're so creepy.
I love them. I just love them. They make me smile when I look at them. I just enjoy making them. I still enjoy looking at them. So various things that I've made there. There's the first 3 postcards I did following along with Tori's postcard thing last year and then stopped after 3 months, like I do with a lot of things.
Of course.
These are all these are art journals here. Here, all across here and down here, all art journals. That's mostly felting things in there, but these are all full of thread, even though I've got a whole shelf full of threads elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm not sure you got enough.
There's a vintage needlework magazines and things in there. This is Whips and Pips, works in progress and projects in the pipeline, all in this tower.
But surely that's annoying, that tower, having to open the drawer on this side here.
No, but the side is just where you would clip them together. You can do this to kind of clip them together, but I find that a bit awkward, so I'm not bothering. You can lift each drawer off separately. The top one has got a lid, so you could just move that down. Or you don't have to take the thing out at all. You can open them like this. Magnetic closure. Blooming brilliant. And then this one's got various things in.
Emotional support jellyfish on top of it.
Emotional support jellyfish from Jackie. Another upcoming project is making my own one of those. Oh, and I've stuffed all the wadding and things in behind there. Every space has got something crammed into it. There's a couple of embroidery frames behind it as well. I've also got some mediums that are like heavy gels and things like that are in one of these too. And I've got all my 3D printed stuff ready to paint is in one of these. Yeah, so various things. I will get round to labelling them to make it easier to remember what's where. And then on here, this one's got all my, what I think of as my sprinkle powders. This is actually a vintage work basket, but it works well for these. So I've got all my pigment powders and things in there. And it's got this tray that comes out. Underneath is all my stickles and pearl drops. People who do paper crafting will know what I mean by that. Don't. It's not funny. Not big, funny or clever. So we'll put that down there because here you can see they're all things that people have sent me. All my little friends. Well, that one at the back is a cat you and I made many years ago now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My typewriter's under here with the patchwork quilt I just put on top of it. And these are little bags. This one, Claire made me this bag. That's got my magic darning tool in there. And this one, 00 Sue made me. And that's got tatting stuff in it. And under the table is this thing, which I can take out because it's got a handle. You can just lift it out. And that's got things like patterns, templates, stuff like that I'm currently kind of using. It's quite a handy place to keep it. That's all bizarre stuff, that bag. And my sewing machine is behind there with the other brightly coloured quilt on it. This lovely bag that Snoppy made me has got scraps in it ready to pull from. So I thought I'll keep them handy so I pull from them instead of cutting into new pieces. This is needlework stuff, machine needles and things like that are all in there. And underneath that is a big case that's got jewellery findings, jewellery making tools and that sort of thing. In there. So none of it's difficult to move around and, rearrange and get to the bits. Yeah, move so I can get to other bits. And then moving round, more storage up on the top for things I don't need too often.
That's lucky.
I went through every single marker. Woo! That's my big tripod light.
One of two.
One of two for filming with. Obviously, that's the thing. I mean, that's one of the reasons it's a bit more crowded in here than it needs to be is because I've got to have my camera, lights, the big screen there and everything. But yeah, I don't even notice it anymore, but it probably does look a bit cluttery, really.
Maybe a bit.
Yeah. So I went through all of these. That's got colour pencils. This has got alcohol markers, spirit markers, permanent markers, that kind of thing. This one's all water-based markers. I think that one's highlighters, and this one's paint pens, and this one's whisper markers, which I bought a whole set of in 2006, and I tested them, and they are all still working. Incredible they are.
Yeah, you'd think
really
they would have,
good.
at least some of them would have dried out, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I can't find the make anymore, otherwise I'd buy another set.
Yeah.
Because and I think at the time they felt like a huge investment. It's like $34.99 or something. But it's a huge, it folds out, it's 3 thick basically, so it folds out about this long and it's crammed with markers. But yeah, this is like magazines that I use for collage and things like that are in there. More different kinds of markers and stuff there. This is actually stamp sets inside here that I need to still go through. And then these are watercolour paintbrushes are in there actually. These are all different kinds of ink pads, ink pad refills, distress inks, Winsor & Newton normal type ink, writing ink, I suppose. And then up top here I've got watercolour paints, gouache, water-based oil colours, all there. And then I've got some things like gesso and stuff in behind. Obviously paintbrushes, Indian inks, palette knives and things. These are really, really tiny brushes for miniatures. And then tucked in where it's dark, I've got cyanotype stuff. Forgot what it's called. For doing cyanotype printing. And
UV resin.
UV resin and glow-in-the-dark pigment. That Stuart Simple glow-in-the-dark pigment and all that. I've tucked all them in the dark back there. And then here, all of these come out. Alcohol inks, acrylic paints, fancy marbly moon paints, textile paints. These all lift out. Those are acrylic, kind of liquid acrylic things. Different patinas, gilt creams, things like that. Weathered wood, medium, different crackle accents of stuff, varnishes and things are all there. Oh yeah, I forgot. I missed this bit. Oh God. So this is all like things like printing supplies and things like that. And my hot iron, as if an iron would be cold. My iron and things are there as well, and hot glue gun and stuff are all there. Yeah, printing supplies, lino cut stuff, all of that. And then we've got different kinds of papers, scrapbooking papers and stuff, sketchbooks and drawing papers. There's things like metallic paper and collage papers and things all down there as well. Big fat sketchbooks that won't fit anywhere else are down the bottom. A couple of kind of portfolio things here with previous work in. I'll tell you what, going through all of this really made me itch to be doing some more art again.
Yeah.
Because I've got such lovely supplies. I realised I've actually used quite a lot of my Inktense pencils.
Oh.
Yeah, these are all the Inktense pencils I've got now. At one point I had 2 sets of 72 because I got them at a real bargain price at the time, and I've used them over the years. This was years ago. And actually, they're all I've got left. And there are some colours that I haven't got at all, but you can buy them individually. So yeah, that's Inktense. And then these are kind of sketching pencils from sort of HB through to 14B, with the little stumpy ones at the bottom. And I've even got things you can put the stumps in to use them, so you don't have to waste them because they're expensive. And things like graphite sticks and stuff like that on top. Basically all sketchy pencils. The sort of water soluble graphite pencils are probably in there as well, actually. And little cute thing Tom made me for burnishing.
Oh yeah.
And then these are little grippy things that you can put on pencils to make them easier to hold. A bit more ergonomic. And we putty rubber or kneaded eraser if you come from anywhere else but the UK.
Yeah.
And then you might have to squat to go to my level for the for the desk. There's various papers down here. This is my little sort of portable sewing kit. This is what I will have by me to hold things when I'm working on a project sometimes. And in here as well, I'll drop cut papers and stuff like that. So this is always handy to have close by. And then you can see across the desk really. It looks like a mess, there's a lot on it, but it's all stuff that I reach for all the time. There's all the regularly used glues and tapes are back there. Pokey sticks and things, ruler.
IKEA pegboard.
Yes, that's really handy, that stuff. It's got a little grippy. I wish I had space to use it more though, because
Yeah.
And a whirligig thing here has got all the different mainly black and white pens in there, all different types, fine liners and things like that, permanent ones, water soluble ones, all sorted into nib size and everything, all checked to make sure they're working before they were allowed to go back in there.
Nerd.
And here, 2 fragrance. I've got several fragrance things handy by. There's this absolutely delicious smelling, I love this. My stepdaughter got me this as part of my Christmas present, I think, or birthday. Absolutely gorgeous if you can get this stuff. It smells amazing. I've been using it for weeks now, since March, my birthday. Oh, look at the dust on that. But it smells absolutely gorgeous. I've also got this stuff, which someone gave me, and it's horribly expensive. But she gave me this little sample bottle. Absolutely delicious. So I've got the smell of something on my hands and I can't get rid of it. And this is the best of all, from our Arrelay. You'll know in our Discord, Arrelay Art on YouTube. I'm going to be showing that at a future live stream, but yeah, it smells absolutely gorgeous. You put it on your pulse points. I wouldn't like to say if it stopped me farting or not, but
I don't think there's an oil strong enough for that.
But it does smell absolutely amazing. And there's more other kinds of, that little unit has got other kinds of pencils and things as well on it. And then underneath the desk, in the middle there, normally my 2 little bins would be here. One for rubbish and one for recycling. My little footstools there that I do put my foot on. I also use it to reach the high shelves. Different sizes of drawing boards and cutting boards and things there. And underneath I've even got a little shelf unit underneath at the back that I can put more things on to make use of every bit of space.
Don't worry, she can't reach that with her little hobbit feet. It's too far away.
This is like a mini easel, like a desktop easel there. And then on to the right of the desk, the other light, my computer screen that I use when I'm doing my editing and everything. On the top is the webcam here that I look at when I'm talking to you.
That's what you look like to her.
And above the desk is the one that shows what I'm doing. What I call the hand cam.
It's so
hand cam
little.
and face cam. Teeny weeny.
And that one has a magnet that will attach to any metal surface.
Yeah, so it's brilliant. Yeah, it's a really good little. You wouldn't believe. I mean, when I first started doing YouTube, well, when I first started, I used to use my iPad, not very successfully. Then I got a camera that was like this size, like an old-fashioned video camera.
Yeah.
And now that, I could fit it in my pocket.
And it's better quality than all your other cameras combined.
Yeah. And then on the right there, well, there's my computer glasses and my speaker and all the annoying electronic gubbins that you kind of have to have that doesn't look very pretty.
Actual size dressmaker's thing there that she uses to make her own clothes.
Rolls of things there, and then what I'll do is I'll move this over now back to where it was. So here's another one of these little handy units. In the bottom is all the threads I'm collecting for the bazaar thing. Well, I mean, I will use them. My excuse for buying them was for the bazaar event, but
it's a good excuse.
And then there's like knitting and crochet tools and things like that there. The needle prodding thing called punch needle kit will go in there, and then just wools and things. This is the current stitch kit. That's my macrame box there. This is things I'm kind of using at the moment. It's some of these in-tray things. Yeah. When Tom comes over to do the live with me, we'd take this into the other room. This would come out, and Tom can use that to put the computer on. It's not a good height, but. And here we got more spirit markers. They're not Copic. I never could afford Copic markers, but they're spirit markers. Alcohol markers, rather. And this one's got the Millefiori project in, actually. So behind there is things that I don't need to access too often, but I can get to them easy enough just for pulling this out. So there's like my doll in there that I've started working on. Things that are going to be transformed into something beautiful later. Old books that I'm cutting up to use for collage and things will all go in there. On the top are mostly kits waiting to be done, or room boxes that are halfway done. And then here, this is all threads on this shelf. That's my vintage ones, my Miss Cheatham threads, and fancy, lovely perle ones and things there. And these are normal, sewing threads. But I've actually been really organised, and I'm going to start keeping the spools. You're making it small again. The sewing machine spools I'm going to put in there, so that I keep them with the threads, which I thought would make a lot of sense. Yeah, so you can see, and I think this one's got Sashiko threads in specifically. Yeah, so they're all sorted into types and stuff. These are all different kind of wires and pipe cleaners, so we're going into more miniature making and stuff now. Lots of little cubbies back here with different charms and metal findings and things like that in there. Little beautiful dolly, how gorgeous is she? I bought her years ago when I was still working and I could afford it. She's absolute. I've forgotten what the make is now, but people who know about miniature dolls will recognise this make. Yeah, she's beautiful. She's got a nips hanging out at the moment.
She does a bit. You get demonetised for that.
Oh. She was sitting up there with the boys, but she didn't look right when I rearranged. And yeah, that's the button making kit, faux leather thonging and things. This is my attractive jewellery making magnifying.
Oh yes, you look excellent wearing that.
Yeah. This is the extra pair of hands. I've forgotten what you call that. What do you call that?
Helping hands. Helping hands,
I think they call it. These for some reason have ended up here. They're my jewellery, my music boxes.
If you guys remember the Halloween intro video.
Yes.
One of those starred.
Yes. Might even have been that one.
It's amazing how much creepier they sound slowed down.
Slowed down and a bit scratchy.
Yeah.
And then under here, I've got this little under shelf basket I've added in. It was left over from a setup board for the kitchen, because I've been doing the kitchen as well. and it just makes better use of the shelf without having to pile everything up. You can get to everything, you know. This is a rim box I'm in the middle of making. Yeah, all sorts of clay things there, rolling pin for clay, my pasta machine, which is for clay, you know. Yeah, all that kind of thing. And then here we've got a whole tower going on. These are actually empty, but I've left them there because they're handy for display, for containing things and for setting up photos. And yeah, or say I was card making, I would line up the cards in, you know, in various stages of preparation. And they're like here where I've had these to come in, where I've opened some Happy Mail. I can put them in there before I take photos. That sort of thing. So that's what those are there for. This, I'm not going to open now. This is the box that contains all of my heart swaps. I think I've only got one or maybe two still to come in. So I think they will all fit in this box. So I can just, it'll be a really easy project. I can just recover this box.
Nice.
It's just display stuff there. This one's all got sticky pads. I don't know why they've ended up there. Yes, I do, because that's all sticky tapes. So I suppose it does make sense. And this is my glue tower. So tower of glue, sticky pads, and then different kinds of like double-sided tapes are all in there.
So the glue, the top shelf is PVA, the middle shelf is PVA, and below that you've got some PVA?
No, not at all. And I've just rehung my magnetic whiteboard, so I can start putting little. So actually, I can put. And I know it sounds awful, but I actually wouldn't have room for all the cards and things that I get on that one board, but maybe I could rotate them. But they're all going to go into a scrapbook in the end. And then I suppose this is the last bit. So here's my bag door. That's the bag you will have seen me making just recently. That's what I made last year. Those have got nothing in. This is one my friend Trina made me. That has got, that's got the Infinity album stuff in there. This is a someone I work with called Tracy made me. That's got my punch needle stuff in. I do know what's in all of them. That's my Ellen. That's Ellen in Australia sent me this lovely kind of kit to make a bowl, like a vessel kind of thing. That's all in there. So yeah, I think that's it. How long have we been going on for, Tom?
28 minutes.
That's not too bad, because I'll edit that down. Full disclosure though, this isn't it. This isn't everything. So this is our spare room, which I was hoping to empty of my stuff, but it's not happening. So there are just one or two little tiny weeny bits in here.
Just one or two.
So this is the little trolley that actually is supposed to live in the craft room, but it's on wheels. So the idea is that I can wheel it out the way when I need to. In practice, it's quite heavy to move, and it just tends to live here because we're not doing anything in this room. So why do I have to keep moving it back into the... But this is all die cutting, stamping, paper crafting stuff, basically. Scoreboards, envelope maker, and things like Reynolds freezer paper and that kind of thing is all down there. Obviously, I've got to put my dressmaker's dummy somewhere. So that's where she lives.
This is the actual size one.
I think I'm a bit taller than her, actually.
I think because you've got a head.
No, my shoulder's taller. And then in there are things waiting to be transformed. That box in the front, that's not my fault, because that's what your brother had sent here from FedEx, which I assume at some point he'll come and collect. Underneath there is my old computer I need to get rid of. And then and some more pretties up there. Various trinkety things.
Nice tat shot.
Yeah, it's enough of a tat shot, thank you. And then if you come round here...
That's another actual size you.
Shut up! Those are the ones, those were our wedding cake toppers.
Yeah.
I made a wedding
there
cake
you are in the mirror.
That looked like a muddy field. And then coming around here, there's this huge stack of, it is huge because it's nearly as tall as me. These are an absolute thing of beauty inside. So they're, can you not please? So they've got all of my dies in them, my small dies. And they're arranged. These are for, I think they're supposed to be for organising photos, but what I've done is label them with the different, this is quite a cost-effective storage for them. I've tried various ways, little books, magnetic sheets, all kinds of ways to organise dies, and so far I'm enjoying this way the most. And then this is all kind of packing stuff, like clear cellophane bags and cards that I've made that are ready to go out.
This is all left over from the craft fair.
Kind of, but I got rid of most of that craft fair stuff. I go to a charity shop, but I kept these. I thought, well, I will use little bags when I'm sending things to people, you know.
Yeah.
Then this one is nearly empty. That's got my pile of stamps, the stamp sets that I designed. I found those again, so I'm going to be selling those off very soon. And it's also got a couple of boxes of the 3D printed rings that Tom's done. So I must get that sorted soon.
Yeah.
Underneath that is all card blanks. And then this is clothes to be recycled, kind of fabrics for the fabrics, or to be do flips on. Large pieces of fabrics, large pieces of fabrics. And then, as Tori was saying, not only but also, this I've left here is empty at the moment, but it's meant for organising like ponytails and stuff, little girls like hair things on, I think. But it's for, I'm going to use it for ribbons. Here I've got, well, that's actually my scarves at the back. All of this is like scrapbook things, photos, keepsakes, wedding stuff. You know, that's not crafting stuff. That's just, you know, that I can't get rid of. Dust.
Great.
This is gift bags and tissue that I'm going to reuse. There's 2 bags of those. This is needle felting stuff. This is things that like plain curtain lining and cotton batting and things are in there. This is my Jen crate. And this one is all, I haven't got Jen in there. I've got lovely things that Jen has sent me in there.
That's reassuring.
And the bottom is velvets and brocades, smallish pieces of velvets and brocades in there. Behind that is another little shelf unit like the one I've got under my desk at the back, which has got like things that I will hardly ever need to access, but I can if I need to. And right at the bottom underneath those bags of bags is my mini lathe, which I'm determined to get round to using this year. And we're not going to go in there, but if I'm being completely full disclosure, there may also slightly be a couple of these crates full of yarn underneath our bed in our main bedroom. Shh. There's also a mountain of stuff downstairs that I've put to one side to go to. I'm going to sneeze and I've disturbed some dust. So that's it. It's all finished. If anybody's got any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. Enough of that. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that. Why are you holding that phone down so low? I'm not that low.
I'm trying to hold it at your eye height so you feel more at home. If I hold it at mine.
I think you should. I think we should turn it round on you now.
No, that's fine.
Anyway, thanks so much. I'm going now. Bye. So that's it. What did you think? Please do share pictures of your own craft rooms or whatever creative space, wherever you do your creating. Please do share pictures. I've actually activated the community, the function where you can post to this channel. You can share photos. A couple of people who tried it said they couldn't make it work, and I haven't tried it myself, but you might try that. But if you're in our Facebook group or Discord community, share photos in there. I'd love to see other people's work desks and creative spaces, even if it's just your favourite armchair that you like to stitch in, and and how you store all your supplies. We all love to get ideas and have a little snout at how other people store their stash, and even just feel reassured that we're not the only ones with a whole load of stuff piled up around us. Okay, that's it for me for now. Lots and lots and lots of whips and pips, works in progress and projects in the pipeline. I am so excited, so much to look forward to. I've had lots of pieces people have been sending in for the community quilt project. The latest one just arrived this morning. Got to hide the address. Hang on, let's do it this way so you can see the lovely stamps. This one's come from Germany this morning. It's literally arrived like 10 minutes ago. Cannot wait to see it, and it does say community quilt on the front. So anyway, so quite enough for me for today. Thank you so much for bearing with me while I've been away. Brace yourself for a whole flurry of catching up. I've got lots of happy mail openings to catch up on, lots of new projects to start. We'll be back doing the lives again on Wednesday, and then there'll be the monthly one coming up very soon as well. We may have to slightly change the date of that one, but I will make sure I let you know about that. Okay, thanks for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye. Oh, it's lovely to be back in my room.